to come here and produce that, a win. You haven't been able to do that in almost 8 years at the MCG. But more than that, the performance, what did you make of it?
It's one that we were building to. I think we've lacked the end result here, but over the last couple of years, I think we've brought some really high-level footy to the MCG, and we've lost to some really high-level sides. We had that challenge again today. We're up against a really good side, and we found a way to take our game to another level, which is a good sign. But we've had some confidence coming in with regard to the MCG, although we hadn't won here for so long. So it was nice to sort of back that confidence up.
Did you change anything from last week, or have you started to notice the whole big changes based off your pre-season? Do you feel like you've made a lot of progress from the end of last year and that season?
We've made a hell of a lot of progress. Every year we've improved. This year, we added to our group. We grew organically. We've brought in some different dynamics, changed up our midfield a little. I think it suits the MCG where we've taken our group. Some of that's been just guys improving and getting experience under their belt, playing more games of footy. We knew it was going to take some time, but today was it was a step in the right direction. We're looking to be a consistent team. It was a little step, but putting two together now, plus our pre-season, we count that in amongst it. Four quality performances for us should keep that confidence at a high level.
How big a milestone is this, Matthew? It's given it was the first time you had one here since your last season in the top 8 grand final season. How big is today for the club, do you think?
I think it's maybe one we look back on and maybe discuss during the week. We hadn't talked about it a lot. We didn't use it this week. So you sort of taken me by shock a bit with it. We're not talking MCG in the change rooms. We're talking about our game. We're talking about the way we play and how do we become a consistent team, guys. We just happened to play round 2 on the MCG and we were prepared for Essendon. And so I guess that's even more pleasing. We'll look back on it and say, you've got to win footy games here. If you want to win a premiership, that's what you have to do. So it's a great result for us. But again, we'll reset this week and we start focusing because we're a team now that are going to stick to the process of what's next. It won't be to do with the venue, it'll be our opposition and having respect for our opposition, knowing that we have to bring it every week.
What do you feel has been the catalyst for the ball movement, the big improvement in ball movement from this year compared to last year? Because we felt at times it was pretty difficult for you guys to move the ball, but today it seemed like a really big one.
Yeah, well, there's a connection piece to it. There's a group that are training together. Some of it comes off of our defence, so some of it comes off of a transition or a contest that we talk through. The better we compete, the better field position we have. We're able to turn the ball over in areas where we can play back through teams. I don't know what we kicked from turnover today exactly in the end, but it was a lot. That's us getting the ball back. That's transitioning and working hard in areas we know we have to, rather than waiting for the opposition to make a mistake. We're trying to force that on the opposition. So that helps our offence. That intercept score is a really important one for us, but we seem to have a good balance of that at the moment where we're able to score from stoppage as well. So it's a matter of now staying confident in that space or in both spaces and knowing that our defence needs to be at a high level as well.
They kicked 100. Was that a negative at all, or was that just a function of you knew the game was in the bag?
Yeah, if I'm being a grumpy coach, yeah. But there's different reasons for that. There's ways that when we're moving the footy and we make mistakes, so there'll be some stuff in there about our execution, about us making some decision-making errors, and we get beaten back the other way. Because I think they did score, a fair bit off the intercept as well. So there are things we'll keep working on that we have to improve on. We know for us to be that side we want to be at. 100 points isn't ideal, but I think there are other factors in it today that outweigh that. I thought, when we had our chances, we did execute. We moved the ball really well. We defended for the majority of the day at a really high level. From a marks differential, that was a stat today that was really important. Essendon get their game going. With that, then it's really hard to stop, and we were able to get that on our side today.
Do you think the addition of those season recruits, Neil Bullen, Pete Ling coming, they make you more versatile, and how important is it to be versatile in the modern game?
Yes, it does. It gives us a lot more flexibility, is probably the language we use around it. Different options we can look at in different positions. Alex Neil Bullen today, just to have his experience out there, he's played 90 games, 91 now, on the MCG. So for him to be able to talk through his experiences, not just with this venue, but just around footy. The two boys from the Giants have just slotted in beautifully into our group, and more so, it's not just on-field, the off-field stuff's been at a high level. So, there's no doubt bringing in guys of their quality has helped our group.
Josh, it's specifically in terms of what they provide, where Dawson plays and where other people play. Are they making everyone else that was already on that list better?
Yeah, that's probably the space we're in, and that's why we feel so confident at the moment. It's hard to pick a player or standouts in our group. The guys are, across the board, there's strong performances. That's where we want to be at. Jordan can slide forward at times. Isaac can play on ball and play forward of the ball. And as you mentioned, having the other boys that can come through and pinch hit at the same time is a bonus for us.
Isaac Rakin came off. He's subbed him off. Is he all right?
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, we're in a unique position there where we can make a decision around where the game's at, and probably Isaac's history on the MCG is one that sits in the back of your mind as a coach, and it's a long season. We're trying to be a consistent team. We know it's going to be a really long season, and we want to make the right decisions. If we get an opportunity to manage a player when it comes to their loads, we'll do that. And 2 weeks in a row now, we've had that luxury. Tex round one, and then Isaac today.
So was there an injury concern there, or you just subbed him off? There was nothing that came up?
No, what was coming up was his work rate was at a level where we were going, okay, why are we winning this game? Well, Isaac Rankin is working as hard as anyone on the field. And so we couple that up with the experience we've got of, look, what do we need right now? And we don't want to take any more risk. But he's done the work in the pre-season, Isaac, so he's able to work now as an on-baller. We'll just keep an eye on things during the year.
How much did you have a flashback? That goal on the run on the boundary line about him running out. You talk about his history at the G. How much was it like, right, he's at that big run, let's
yeah, there may have been a conversation over the phone between high performance and coaching.
Matthew, you must have been really delighted with your forward line set up today. 7 multiple goal kickers, a great spread. That's something really encouraging and promising for the season going forward.
Yeah, and something that's really important to us, because I think each of those forwards is making each other better. That's the key to us at the moment, is we've got a playing group that understand how important their teammate is, and that connection between teammates. And multiple goal kickers, it makes it hard to defend. So it's something that we'd love to stick with. We've put 2 games together, and our challenge is to do it again.
Also, I noticed on the sidelines today that you had a sign with a boxing gloves, and was that a messaging signal regarding keeping the fight? Was it, at times, don't drop off in terms of your intensity, because there was times where Essendon did come at you, particularly in that third term where they really showed a bit more aggression towards you with a little bit more pressure. Yeah. There's a bit in it. We've got a number of different modes that we go to, and it's just our way of trying to help our playing group. They're becoming a little bit more independent in that over the last couple of years, where they're able to see a game and feel how the game's playing out. But there's no doubt there are periods in the game today where we felt like Essendon got on top a little for short periods of time, but our guys were able to fight. And as you mentioned, there are different boards we use. I'm glad you picked it up. But where we just feel like we need to dig a little deeper and get the game back on our terms.
Sid Draper came on and he went down the rooms, looked like he might have done a foot, and then played out the game. Is he okay?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I hope he's okay. I think it was more of a knock to the knee, so he may have quite a contusion there or bruise, but it's one that we'll just have to keep an eye on.
And can you speak to the value of having such a calm head like Nick Murray sitting behind the ball for you? Obviously, you want the bounce out of defence, but he seems to be the one that can just calm things down when it gets a little bit hectic.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked that up. And that's an area that he's working on. I think he's intense, calm's one area that we're working on with him, but it's nice that you had that view of him today, because he's, there's no stopping him when there's a contest. But the fact that he is working around that shape, and it's not just Nick either. I think Rory Laird's doing a fantastic job down there as more of a experienced head, just being able to calm the group, and there's a balance between us wanting to press the game and really get at our opposition, but also hold strong shape. I think the best sides do that, and that's an area that we're going to keep working on.
Nixie, you spoke about pre-season. We're just focused on round one all the time, round one. It feels like you guys are very honed in this season, focusing on it week by week, and that's been a real focus. Is that the way is that been a bit of a change of approach this year, and really not forecasting ahead? Everyone wants to play finals, we know that. But has that been a bit of a change and a focus?
Yeah, it has. It's our ability to remain in the moment, understand what it is we're doing for that week. We've been very deliberate with that this year, and it's through learning. It's not that we necessarily last year lost our way and got ahead of ourselves looking at the bigger picture of it all, but sometimes the noise from outside can make it look that way, and there's little things that we worked on during last year that we've changed this year and we've tweaked. We know we're a team that if we're focused and we're playing every moment as it comes, we're a much better footy team. And so that's us at the moment. We're process driven on, okay, we will enjoy this result today, and last week we enjoyed the result and had a fantastic lead-in, to the point where we were talking about the energy around the place and the enthusiasm. We're going to try and keep that, enjoy that, but then refocus ourselves for what comes next.
Great. Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.